I hope we're all well. We're somewhere different today. We are, just in another room in the house. And I hope we're all well. I feel drawn to coming on, chatting away to you guys. And I got a new card deck. We got the, sorry, it's quite glary, the Everyday Witches Tarot. So I absolutely adore it. It's awfully shiny, so it might be hard to see, but I'm loving it so far. So yeah, sit back and relax. Let's see if a little message wants to come through. I just started getting goosebumps. My floorboards are so damn creepy. So, bringing my little candle over, my rosemary and, what's that called? Palo Santo. My brain just did a brain fart. And my little cat is just asleep. So he's relaxed. And yeah, we're in the Zen mood now. So the energy has been very interesting, and I feel very called. My hair is absolutely crazy. I feel very called to come on, and I've seen a few of the same message come to me today. However, I'm going to tell a little story, and yeah, I'm going to tell a little story. So it's quite smoky. Maybe I should move it here. Anyway, so the other day, one of my colleagues at work asked me if I could bring my tarot cards in. And I was a bit skeptical and a bit worried and a bit anxious to do so, because I thought people are going to think I'm weird. And, you know, when it comes to the whole spiritual kind of spooky stuff, I kind of avoid sharing it with people. I mean, I have a bit of a block in that. Like, I'm a bit scared of what people are going to think. I hope I have a bobble. Give me 2 minutes. So I'm a bit nervous about what people are going to think. So I start projects and I do things, and then I stop them because I get a bit anxious about judgment and I kind of doubt myself. Anyway, so yeah, my friend was like, can you bring the cards in? And I was like, you know what, I'll do it. And it's a guy who, he's not skeptical, but he's very open-minded as a person. He's very intelligent, he writes, he reads a lot, and just, yeah, generally like very open. But it's not really that into like spiritual stuff, but they like to hear me talk about it, so it's cool. So I brought the cards in, and my 2 colleagues, I did a reading for each one of them, and it made a lot of sense to them, and they were really open with me. And then I asked them to do one for me, and I was absolutely blown away because they were absolutely on the money. And it just shows you that even if it's not something that you do every day, you don't connect with your like kind of psychic senses or your intuition often, we still as human beings have that part naturally within us. And it was such a beautiful day. It was a nice connection. We all, our spirits were all very lifted, and it was just nice to kind of have that connection. So when I got home, I went on a live on Instagram that someone was doing, and it was basically like saying how you need to just step out your comfort zone and be yourself, because when you start being that self, especially when you're aligned with your gifts and you're open with your intuition, etc, like when you tap in and you're not scared to show it, the world and the universe will what am I saying, will wink back at you and interact with you, because you have, you know, followed your call. And it was basically just be brave and follow the call. Then I seen another video about it. So I want to come on and share with you how important it is, if you're feeling called. It doesn't need to be like any of this stuff, but I mean, if you're watching tarot card readings, I assume that you're into the same stuff that I am, or that this is kind of... Also, I believe when we're drawn to certain people on videos, it's for a reason. It aligns with part of our It resonates with part of her soul. So yeah, it was just super fascinating, and it felt, yeah, I really was quite happy with that. And it has kind of shown me that I need to maybe do a lot more with this. So I'm going to upload more videos, and I want to do more readings for people and more Reiki sessions, and just like kind of put myself out there. Because how are you going to have a successful, you know, if that's what you want to do, is your passion, is your job, then how are you going to do it if you're not putting the work in? And when you put the energy in there, it'll come back. And when you have the risk, when you take the risk, you get rewarded for it, 100%. It's just damn scary to do so, and it's scary being yourself. Because we have, you know, we're human beings, we want to be accepted. Survival instinct. So, yeah. That was a little lesson I was feeling and thinking about today. And we're all a lot more similar than we realise. And it's just important that we make those connections and we say those things. So if you get a little instinct about someone or a feeling, the magician, having all the tools, but being open to sharing them. Sorry, it's so glossy, I'm going to have to go like this. Having all the tools, it's also magic. Having all the tools and using them, your heart and your head. She's glowing. What was I saying? Yeah, we're all, if you feel like drawn to share or do something, like you get an instinct, intuition, whatever it is, and you feel like called to say something to someone, then you do it. You must do it. You must use your energy and lead by example. So we got the magician here. I wish it wasn't as shiny. I might have to turn like this. Oh, it's awfully glossy. Right, there we go. That's better. Magician. Beautiful little cat boy. She has all the tools. Look, she's glowing from her heart. Little halo around her, and the magic's coming out her hands. It's like when we take that energy that's from within and we listen to our within, we listen to our intuition, we listen to all those kind of parts of ourselves, it then leaks out from, well, not leaks out, but it can be an extension of ourselves through our hands and our power, right? So there we go. Then we got 10 of Pentacles, which is abundance and happiness. And look at they're a beautiful family. And it's like when you share that part of yourself, you attract towards you your people, abundance, the places where you are going to thrive and where you need to go. It's just a super fertile energy. And 9 of Cups is what the soul really wants. Like, she is so content here. Like, wish come true. Like, she's happy with the way she is, and she's not wanting to change for anyone else. I'm going to do that background. It's dead weird. My bed. Don't want that being on this. But yeah, we're being called to step into our power. Okay. And do you know what this is reminding me of? This is the Knight of Pentacles, stepping into the power, like going forth and grabbing what we want. But it's reminding me of, and do you know in Harry Potter, in the first movie, when he takes, when Malfoy takes Neville's remembrall, so that wee thing is the thing that helps him remember, right? And he loses it, and Harry jumps on the broom and helps get it back for him. But it's like retrieving the thing that will help you remember who you truly are, because when we are connected to that part of our soul, because all human beings, we are powerful. We are able to work with energy, and we're able to sense things and talk about, you know, understand each other. We can sense feelings and emotions when we walk into a room, right? Like, we are all connected, but we're completely severed from that and not really taught how to connect with our intuition and connect with others in a way that would be so fulfilling and so beautiful for the world. Like, we would have such an amazing world. And that is what one of the videos I watched was saying, and I was like, absolutely on point. But we're being called to go forward, right? And we should remember the soul that is within us, like what our power is. And that's why we're going through an awfully hard time, I think, at the moment. There we go, he's got that thing again. He's got it in remembering. 2 of Wands, it's like looking at and he's remembering this power within, and like making plans and going forward, like, okay, this is what I remember, this is what my soul wants, now going forth with that Two of Wands is like making plans. Do I stay or do I go? Do I be the same in the same comfort zone, or do I just be myself and show it to the world? And you have to show it to the world. The Fool, jumping in. Just jump in. Don't be scared. I know it's scary. It's so scary. It's so scary. But it is the best thing you'll ever do. And I've not done it. I've stopped doing it for years and years and years. And the more you ignore it, the more it becomes obvious. And the more you're called towards something, the more it's going to push you and push you and push you. Life's going to push you until you just jump off that cliff. If you're not going to jump, it's going to push you. The Fool is just jumping into the unknown and believing in yourself. We have lost that. We have lost the ability to believe in ourselves. Our power has been taken from us in a sense of we're not really, we're not encouraged to really connect with that part of ourselves and with others. I mean, look at the witch trials, right? They didn't like it. What did I say? Look at the witch trials. 5 of Swords, conflict. Like, look at them. They're crying. The witches are crying. Like, we are coming out of a society where this sort of work and this connection with the earth, this connection with spirit, this whole way of living was demonized. And we are being called forth to step in that power, because we're not going to get ostracized for that. Well, you might feel ostracized for that anymore, and you might get 1 or 2 people being like, that's weird. But most 9 times out of 10, actually, you're stepping into your power. People see that and they're like, I could do that as well. And you gotta lead by example in that, because those souls, those women, men, those people who were the way that we are today, lost lives for who we are and for their roots, and we owe them that. We owe our ancestry, our roots, our soul, we owe ourselves that. We owe God that. We owe that gift, right? We owe ourselves the gift of being ourselves and feeling comfortable to just go, yeah, fuck it, I am just step out and jump in my comfort zone and just show the world who I am. Okay? It's really important. I know I'm very rambly today. I wasn't planning on doing a video. I was lying in my bed just chilling with the cat, and then I just was like, I need to get up and do a video. We got to start somewhere, Things don't need to be perfect. 6 of Cups. The past, yeah, that's honouring the past to me. So the 6 of Cups is past. So by honouring that self, and that part of us, we're honouring the past as well. And we're healing karma and healing the world, I think that's why there's such like a awakening happening right now. I'm like hearing the quote, "We are the souls of the women they tried to burn," in my head. I don't know if you've heard that. We are the daughter, or I can't remember, we are the souls of the women they tried to burn. I think that's the saying, but it's like this energy, the way energy works, energy doesn't die. It recycles and recycles and recycles. So that energy from the past, those people, when they pass, their energy lives on through us, right? Through our DNA, through our souls, if you believe in reincarnation, which I personally do. So we need to forgive. And that part of ourselves that demonized us, right? And demonized that part of ourselves is just another part of ourselves that needs loved. So even like, we can't look at it as an enemy. We have to forgive that part of ourselves as well. And that's like a collective shadow, like healing. Shadow, what's it called? That's collective shadow work. So that's like healing the darker part of ourselves. So when we come to accept that darker part of ourselves, we're able to create more harmony in the world. Because I believe the world is but a reflection of our internal world. 100%. No, it doesn't feel... I need to get other cards, but I don't have them with me. I do this every time, but do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get one of my books. I'm going to open it a random page and we're going to get a little message. And that's how we're going to end the video today. It's been completely different, but I don't do things the same. But I hope we're all well, and thank you for being with me today. Thank you for your kind comments on my other videos. I'm going to reply to them. I'm absolutely awful at being on my phone and messaging and replying. I find it super overwhelming. But just know that I really appreciate any energy that is shared with me. So yeah, I've grabbed this book, Callings, Finding and Following an Authentic Life, which is exactly what I've been talking about, okay? Following your callings. It's hard to know, but it's the thing that makes you excited and maybe a bit uncomfortable. Okay. Wait. Okay. Angel Spirit Guides. What do the collective for this reading need to know? What do I need to share with them? Okay, it's called Dog Logic. There comes a time in life... Wait, rewind. There comes a time in the life of most families, says Fred Chappell, a professor of literature at the University of North Carolina, when a child begins to assert the need for independence and frequently fixes on the one means to achieve it that his parents cannot abide. Anything but that, they'll say. As Chappelle describes it in My Poor Elephant, we want you to be happy. You're free to do whatever you want to do, except become a rock musician, or an artist, or a hang glider, or a homosexual, or a soldier of fortune, or ... or a writer, which is what Chappelle wanted to be. Not only did his parents not want to hear what he wrote, they also didn't even want to hear about it. When he sat at his old royal typewriter, whose clattering could be heard all over the house, visitors sometimes asked what the noise was. Oh, that's only Fred working on his typing, they were told. Their embarrassment was just that acute, Chappelle says. I wasn't trying to write, I was learning to type. Typing was a useful skill that might come in handy someday. Writing was impractical. There were the tag-end years of the Depression and it was imperative to be practical. This kind of message gets into you and is very hard to get out. Maybe the only way to do so is the same way you'd extract a fish hook, backing it up a little before pulling it out. First, you become aware that there's a fish hook embedded in you. This is really interesting because it's exactly relevant as to why we may not stand in our power and be our true authentic selves based on judgment from others, okay? And we got to listen. Maybe the only way to do so is the same way you'd extract a fish hook, backing it up a little before pulling it out. First, you become aware that there is a fish hook embedded in you, and then you re-examine those messages. Look for the origins, rewind and play back parts of your childhood and try to understand, and this is critical, whose messages they were and what kind of people gave you these messages. Now that is what Six of Cups is. That is inner child healing. Anything we are told and learn as a child stays in our subconscious mind and embeds itself even in our bodies. Our trauma is the energy from trauma embeds itself within our bodies and causes all sorts of problems. But it's really important that we deep that and we look at it because it can hinder a lot of things in our life. I'm going through it at the moment. That's what shadow work does though. Apply dog logic. Don't look at where the finger is pointing. Look at who's pointing the finger. Whose voice of authority comes blaring through your head with advice and admonitions about how you should respond to your own callings? Whether these people are dead or alive, ask yourself, what motivates their advice and their lives? What are their stories? What are their values? What chips do they carry on their shoulders like epaulets? Ask yourself, if you believe what they believe, value what they value, operate the way they operate. We want to find the stories beneath the stories we're told, the agendas hidden behind the advice. And we want to flush them out like beaters driving game. Beaters driving game. Flush them out like beaters driving game. I don't really understand that sentence, I'm not going to lie to you, but the word beaters is reminding me of the Quidditch thing. Because there's beaters in that. Funny. We want to find the stories beneath the stories we're told. I already said that. We need to do this so that we can take others' counsel, however well-meaning, with the proverbial big grain of salt. We need to reformulate our relationship to these voices of authority, as well as to our own. In Chappelle's case, it was vital for him to understand that his parents' message grew out of a depression mentality that made impracticality, as he put it, worse than hearsay, thievery, and some kinds of homicide. You might tell a co-worker that you're going to follow your dream, to leave the company and start your own. This is hilariously relevant, and I'm going to send a photo of this to my colleague, because this is exactly what we were speaking about today. Anyway, and she may tell you that you're out of your mind in this economy, and what a great opportunity you'd be throwing away. And won't you miss all this? When what she's really saying is, I can't believe you're leaving. You're my only friend at this crummy job. Or, I'm envious, but I'm too scared to do anything about it myself. You might tell a friend that you're finally going to move, and he may play devil's advocate with you. Though a little too heavily on the devil, and a little too light on the advocate, and come across as combative and disapproving, when he's really feeling frustrated with his own lack of movement. You might tell a colleague, as I once did, that you've set aside 4 months to put together a business proposal and forget that his response, 4 months? Hell, I knock those things out in a weekend, is based on the kind of project he works on, and yours is very different, and you are very different. Maybe your gift or your call is tormenting to your mother or father, who scorns it, but who had the same gift or the same call and never honoured it. Maybe they felt that their cherished security in life is founded precisely on their refusal to honour their gifts, and so lest they tear themselves down the middle with grief and regret. They tout the security and not the gift. Or perhaps they tested the waters briefly themselves once and found it too cold, so they attempt to pass this wisdom. The water's too cold, stay out. On to you. In fact, until a son can see his father and a daughter can see her mother as just another woman or just another man who had children and dreams that did or didn't come true and who struggled with personal demons, he or she does not really grow up and is unlikely to forgive parents for their misdirections and criticisms. Until we understand someone's history, we can understand neither that person nor on what they base their own voices of authority. Wow. And look how many pages are in this. That's page 220. I'm blown away. That worded exactly what I wanted to say better than I was able to. Because I'm a little bit all over the place today, but you heard what this had to say. And it's very relevant to me. I'm sure it's very relevant to you. Despite what people think, you're a very powerful person, no matter what it is that I could be speaking about. Like, it can be in your artistry, your gifts, who you are as a person. Like, you just have to go for it. And even if you feel alone, it's definitely, because 10 of Pentacles here and 2 of Wands, like, 10 of Pentacles is family and home, and it's on, and 2 of Wands, he looks very independent here, and he's looking at this ball like, look what I could do, but family or people in your life could be holding you back. 24 I just seen. And there's something we really wish. 9 of Cups, we really want to jump the fill. We really want to go for it. But there's healing, internal healing, inner child healing, and acceptance we need to go through, and to view those people not as threats, like just as other people who also had dreams. And I'll leave with this, because this story is relevant, because my friend today was telling me how he always wanted to be a writer, and he still wants to be a writer, and that's what he is going to go do after work. He leaves this job, but he studied chemical engineering at university, and he wanted to leave his first year and go and do literature and writing, and he did, and everyone was like, no, this is a terrible idea. But one of his mentors is like not a mentor, but the kind of like, how would you explain, it's like the teacher you're assigned to when you're at university or college or something, who like kind of helps you out, like your main go-to. Anyway, she was a doctor or she was some sort of science woman, and she was the only one that encouraged him and said, that's a great idea. So he did it. And then I think it was like a year later, 2 years later, she wrote him a good reference. And then she also was a writer, and she was part of a writing group, and she was like, oh, you should join it, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, a couple of years down the line, she then went and she left her job and then studied or went to go and teach English literature or something. She basically seen him as an inspiration and followed, because she had emailed him that she'd emailed him after like years. I can't really remember the story very well, but she basically had been inspired by his moves and went and did what her soul had always wanted her to do, what her calling was. And it was beautiful. And that is exactly what that's telling you. Like, no matter what people say, the feeling you get after it, and the remembering, and the connection with yourself and your life that you get from making those moves is just so special. And this is extremely inspiring to me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. And remember, there's nothing more beautiful than your authentic self. So go out and be that. And if there's something you really want to do, go and do it. Go and do it. Go and do it. Because you're going to be fine. Everything's going to work out. And if you keep ignoring those callings, you're going to get pushed off that cliff if you're not going to jump. So best just go for it. Anyway, hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, night, whenever you're watching this. Thank you so much for being here. And remember to share your gifts, your soul, and your true self. And everything will work out perfectly. God bless.